Hello, Honey Badger Metaverse. We're here with Gary Mackin, who's recently moved to eXp Realty. Good morning, Gary.
Morning. How are you doing, Kevin?
Good. So this is going to be a first 30-day with eXp interview. And what we're going to do is, we just want to capture before you get moved on and it's hard to remember what it was like in your first 30 days. Capture, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's going to be a raw interview, to give people an idea of what, if they move to eXp, what it would be like, transferring over and starting out, and what they can expect. So let's start off with, tell us a little bit about your history in real estate, your story leading up to eXp.
Well, I first got into real estate back in the early 90s when I was a young lad, and I learned very quickly that I was too young to be in the business. So I left it, but I always wanted to get back into real estate. 3 years ago, I joined a large bricks and mortar brokerage up in Orangeville and started selling for them and had some success, but it certainly wasn't what I was looking for. I think the people were just amazing. Don't get me wrong. The people were amazing. The brokers, the other sales reps, support staff, just incredible people. But I found the training just wasn't what I expected, wasn't what I needed. And I felt that I wasn't living up to my full potential because I didn't have the support that I was looking for. Now, granted, I could go out and buy the support through outside training, but internally, it just wasn't there.
Yeah. How would you describe what you were getting?
Very, very minimal training. Initially we had one broker and she was really good, but that started to wane over time, and the support just wasn't coming to me from the office. Now they did have weekly meeting for 1 hour, but as compared to eXp, it's never close to the same.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. So you're looking for some more, and you felt you needed the training. Was there anything else you felt you were missing or you felt you needed?
For me, the big thing was training and support, and just having a coach. I didn't have a coach with them, and I found that hurt me because I didn't have somebody holding me to account, making sure that I was doing what I needed to be doing and living up to my potential and hitting my, setting my goals, first of all, and then attaining my goals.
Right. Right. And you know what, basically, that's where it changed for me. I had been doing it for a couple of decades when I decided I needed to get into coaching, and the brokerage I was with certainly didn't offer anything like that. And again, training was minimal. Almost non-existent, and I had to pay. Like, I was paying thousands of dollars a month to get coaching. But that's where things, really started to change for me. Was when you started getting around. In fact, in my opinion, one of the secrets of success is to find someone who's doing what you want to do right now.
Yes.
In today's market, being successful right now, because that's the person that can actually push you forward. And and I know that agents in our own office, agents in our own marketplace, they're just not going to share their best secrets.
No, they're a competition.
Yeah, it would just erode what they're doing, and they're just not going to do it. So you're left to kind of figure it out on your own, and it changes the game completely. Okay, so there's all kinds of different reasons someone might join eXp. What would you say caused you to join eXp? Number one.
Well, I got a couple of videos from you, Kevin, and it talked to me about eXp and the potential. I just couldn't forget about the possibility of joining a company that I could actually have part ownership in through revenue share and the 5 different streams of potential streams of income through them, versus with the big brokerage. You just have that opportunity where you go out, you sell a house, and you get your commission, and that's it. There's no residual income at all. It's just a once off. You sell that house, you get your commission, and that's the end of it. And then to make some more money, you have to go out and sell yet another house and yet another house and yet another house. And there's no exit plan. One day I hope to retire, and when I retire, I hope that some money keeps coming in. And with the big brokerage, that's just not going to happen. With this eXp model, it's a disruptive model, and the money will keep flowing long after I retire.
Yeah, that was one of the frustrating things for me. So having been in real estate for so long, when you stop selling, you go to zero. Like,
absolutely,
you're done. You don't own anything. You don't have anything after that. And while most of us would never like to think about this, reality is, if there's anything ever stopped us, it's like pushing a boulder up a hill, right?
Yep.
But, and I used an analogy in a post on LinkedIn, and I said, in Greek mythology, Cyprus was condemned to push a boulder up a hill for all eternity. And every time he got to the top, he had to start again at the bottom. And when I heard that, I thought, oh my God, that's just like being a realtor. You're condemned to push the boulder up the hill for all eternity, and there's no off switch. You can't stop. So you have nothing, you own nothing when you go to zero. And really, that's the frustrating thing about real estate. Like most people, if you got into real estate, you're getting into real estate to build wealth. Successful people teach us that wealth is built through things like duplication, revenue share, multiple streams of income, ownership, and you just don't get that from any of the other typical bricks and mortar offices. So, you realize after decades in the business, you're going to be where you were next year at that time.
That's right. That's right. Meanwhile, as this is happening, building someone else's saleable asset, the franchise owner and everybody up and above the big bricks and mortar brokerage, they're all getting wealthy off my work. I go out, do all the work, and they get the money from it. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And like, you could buy in for like, I don't know, $500,000, give or take, depending on the franchise and where it was or anything. And basically what you're doing is you're buying in to collect revenue share, essentially. All right. So let's see. Branding. A lot of questions. I get a lot of questions about branding. So let's talk about, let's describe, someone's thinking of coming over. From the day your license transferred over, can you describe kind of what that was like, and the challenges and stuff as well, or what you experienced, like, as soon as your license transferred?
Yeah. For me, it was scary. The reason it was scary initially was I'm not a very tech savvy person, and I felt comfortable. I had my actual own office with a big brokerage, and it was my comfort zone, and I was comfortable with the way everything worked, and I was just comfortable in my life in real estate. Knowing that I was switching to a cloud-based brokerage, a disruptor, I knew it was going to be weird, because I'm not comfortable with computers. I'm not comfortable with learning new programs. As soon as I joined and came over to eXp, and my license got moved, I started getting information flowing in from various sources explaining how all the systems work. And very quickly, it became apparent that I wasn't going to have as difficult a time learning the systems as I thought. And the support has just been incredible. You would think with a cloud-based brokerage, you wouldn't have access to people, human beings. Everything would be systems and recorded. It couldn't be further from the truth.
Right.
The Metaverse, eXp world, where we go in and we have our avatars and we can move around. It's incredible. I can go in there. If I have a question about something, I can go in, I can walk over to the provincial lobby, walk into a broker's office, and within like 2 minutes, I'm speaking with a broker. It's absolutely incredible. Or a transaction specialist. Or if I want some training, the training is incredible. You go into the welcome area, you turn to your left, there's There's a big screen there, and it explains exactly all the training, and the training is just nonstop. And we talked about the icon training, to 50 hours a week of icon training, as well as the new agent boot camp for Canadians. It's just incredible. They just coach you through everything. If you have any questions, they're there, and they're ready, willing, and able to answer your question, no matter what it is. And the big difference for me was I actually had more help with the eXp as opposed to the brokerage. With the brokerage, quite often there wasn't a broker in the building. So I had to try to track them down. They could be out showing properties or something like that. We have dedicated brokers that are there for us, regular business hours, to answer our questions in eXp World. And after that, we can still reach them on their cell phones because we have access to them. It's incredible. It's incredible.
And you don't actually, and with workplace for Facebook and everything, and our workplace chat, we don't even have to know their phone numbers, and we can call them, right?
No, exactly.
We don't even have that. Oh, I need a list of phone numbers. Like if you know their name, right? You can call them or text them right away. And yeah, so in Ontario we have 6 managers looking after, and anytime I've gone in there, there's been like probably at least 3 sitting ready at their desk in the Metaverse. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot more collaboration with actual people, and done in a way where, it's convenient. You can do it anywhere with an internet connection and feel like you're sitting down and talking to them. And I mean, when you walk up, their door could be closed to their office, just like a normal office. And that means, they're not available right now. Maybe they're on a call or something like that. Or you can look in and see somebody sitting in there with them. But if their door's open, just like in a normal office, you can walk in and talk to them, and they're sitting there. You see their avatar sitting there at their desk, and it's I didn't think when I first was coming over to eXp, it would be so engaging and so helpful, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So you jumped in right away, and now you mentioned to me, like, I know you're not a new agent, but you decided, since you never received any type of real onboarding, that you were going to go through the Ontario agent onboarding process. How's that going? What can you tell me about that?
It's awesome. The new agent boot camp is it's a weekly meeting. It runs about an hour and a half, and you go in, and you get to learn about a new topic. Quite often they'd have like an icon agent, or they'd have somebody in there speaking about a certain subject, and you attend 10 of 12 weeks is the minimum. You go to the weekly meetings, you learn about all sorts of interesting subjects, and the beautiful thing is, it's not like you're just watching a video on YouTube or something that was available to you through your brokerage. You're sitting there and you can actually ask questions. It's interactive. You can mic up and actually speak, or you can send a message to somebody in the group, or you can send a message to everybody in the group, or to however you want to communicate, and you get the answers. And just the interactive aspects of it are amazing. I think it's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think it's certainly the future for sure. The idea of, where I came from, I mean, the office meeting, I think at best was quarterly, and it was blended in with some office awards, and I had to drive, way down into the city to get in there and sit for hours, and, very limited information. Now we have a bi-weekly office meeting. You've only been there for a month. So I don't know, I guess you wouldn't have an opportunity to attend many of them, but they're very informative. And there's a lot of changes occurring in our industry right now, and I find it really helpful.
Yep.
And you're more likely to do it because it's easy to do. You can be anywhere and make sure you attend, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. So now you're into eXp, you're starting to onboard, you're getting lots of training and support. How about things like, okay, so the standard everyday operating is, how do I submit my documents to eXp? So I do a transaction. How do I get my documents into eXp? And I know in my former brokerage, we had SkySlope. So and we have SkySlope with eXp. So like, I mean, you know, it's a software system where you submit your documents and they get approved and they check them over and stuff. And it's easy and very simple to use. And, but basically you didn't have that from the brokerage you were coming over from. And then other things like deposit checks and Fintrac. What can you tell me about? That's the everyday meat potato stuff for a realtor. What can you tell me about that?
Well, with SkySlope, with submitting packages, it's convenient. You put together all of the information, you fire it off through SkySlope, and it gets reviewed by a broker to let you know if there's any concerns with it, and you get a response quickly. With the mandatory training, things like Fintrac, I never got really thorough training on Fintrac before. It was kind of a meeting, a Zoom meeting where you spoke about Fintrac, but the Fintrac training that I got was very, very detailed. And again, it was interactive. There was somebody teaching it, and they're very qualified in teaching the course. And I actually learned it and got a great understanding as to not just the necessity of it, but really what it is that they're trying to accomplish. And they really went into that. And I was impressed with that because, I mean, we're trying to protect our Canadian economy, and we don't want to be engaging in money laundering or anything, any nefarious illegal activities. And this is the way that they're doing it. And it was a good course. It was a really good course.
One of the things I found helpful is with their Finny app, you could actually scan with your phone the back of the driver's license, fills in the form for you. You tick off a couple extra boxes and you're done. And sometimes I get a question about, you know, deposit checks. Like depositing is very easy. Takes you about like under 60 seconds to complete your deposit information and sends it out to the other agent. And they have all the instructions for various ways they can make their deposit. If somebody handed you a check, again, we got an app where you just scan the check and deposit. It's either going into the real estate trust account or a commission account. And I mean, that's it. Like, yeah. Okay. So
so much easier. No more driving across town.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So, all right. All right, so we're on board. We've got a lot of training. We've got systems and processes to handle our transactions, submit our transactions, and it's all without, you know, having to go to an office. Branding. Sometimes I get asked a lot of questions about branding. Now, I understand you took the opportunity to rebrand a little bit. So you actually printed up new signs. Yeah, you just went to your printer and printed up new signs.
Yes, that's correct. I opted to go down that road because I've got a great relationship with my printer, and he gives me a quick turnaround, and he actually offers suggestions to me as to how I can tweak my marketing. And because of that relationship, I opted to stick with him, although I could have taken advantage of the new agent starter kit with eXp, whereas I could have received my business cards and my for sales yard signs free of charge. And I just chose not to exercise that option.
Okay. Now, just to clarify, make sure we stay on track. The business cards were included in the $199 setup fee, and I know those are free, and that's Canadian. But I didn't hear anything about lawn signs. I'm pretty sure we don't include those free, just to be clear on that. They're a package. Maybe there might have been a package that I'm unaware of that would include lawn signs. What I did was I had my own signs made up. We're allowed to self-brand. So as long as your signs aren't, you know, interfering with some sort of copyright or something like that, basically you're allowed to self-brand. And what I ended up doing was I put a sticker over my former company logo right on top of my sign, and I was done. The rest of the sign is because I had my logo on there and I had various things on there, my phone number and different stuff. I just covered it up with a sticker. I ordered the right size and I was done. So
quick compliance.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah. And I send them a picture and boom, they went, yep, approved. Right. So really, you can use it as an opportunity to rebrand or something if you wanted, but you certainly don't have to. A sticker over top of the logo will do it, I believe, most of the time.
Yep.
Okay. So you took that opportunity. We talked about, so basically you've gotten there, you've got learned, you've got the fundamentals, you've rebranded yourself, and you've only been here for 30 days. How would you describe, the first month?
First month, initially, as I said, it was intimidating joining the cloud-based brokerage. But I've really immersed myself in the training and taken advantage of all of the training in eXp world and my KV core training. We can touch on that in a couple of minutes, but that's just been amazing. The new agent quick start with KV core, and just the most incredible tool, a very powerful tool there. But it wasn't nearly as overwhelming as I thought it was going to be for somebody that's not tech savvy. And trust me, if my wife will tell you, if I can figure this stuff out, anybody can figure this stuff out. That's for sure.
Well, good technology in my mind is the absence of it. You don't notice it's there, and it helps you that much, right? So like you had never even, KV Core is, arguably the number one best, probably the most expensive out there. That's because it offers so much. CRM, digital assistant, artificial intelligence,
website,
HDX site. Like, I mean, it does so much. It's a monster. You didn't even really know it existed.
No, I wasn't aware of the tool. Probably because it is very expensive for somebody that's not with eXp to go out and purchase KV Core. And I looked into it, and it's incredible. You can spend a lot of thousands of dollars very, very quickly. And of course, joining eXp, it was complimentary, and it's included as being a member with eXp. And it just absolutely amazing how powerful this tool is in terms of the having the website set up, having the website backed up with the CRM for helping our database, both in terms of our customers for real estate, but also agent attraction. So it can be a dual use CRM, and it's just a great way of keeping track of everything, and for down the line for marketing purposes, drip campaigns and things like that.
Well, one of the secrets to our team's success was essentially that software in the background, running, keeping everything organized and managed. And there's a lot of tools in it for teams and everything else. And like you said, it cost prohibitive. Like it's like around $7,000 Canadian, $5,000 US, but $7,000 Canadian, and you have to sign long-term contracts.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're not messing around because they know they're the best. But there's like 25 different ways to generate free leads. And there's also a management department that will manage and market your platform in whatever areas you want, just with an easy button. So pretty amazing stuff. All right. So we've got the tools. We start generating leads. Tools we didn't even know existed. Training we completely second to none. Offices. There's a big misconception that we're a cloud-based and we don't have an office. Now you're up in Orangeville. Why don't you? Now you're only 30 days in, so you can't do everything in the first 30 days. But you do the things that are probably most important to you. Have you got your Regis office membership yet?
I haven't received my membership yet to Regis.
Yep.
Again, it's an incredible component of being an eXp member, but in our geographic area, you'd have to travel a considerable distance to go to a Regis office nearby. So I haven't taken advantage of it. I've been working primarily from home.
Right. So Regis has dozens of office spaces throughout the GTA. I guess the closest one to us is Brampton. And essentially, like, they're nice. They have receptionists. They're nicer than most real estate offices. And you get a free membership. Now, I was talking to my team the other day, not one person on my team. Now, we have a local office in Orangeville.
Yes.
Not one member of my team. I have team members scattered, throughout the GTA too. And not one of them have used their membership. They all got their membership. Not one of them have used it yet. And we've been here for over a year. Yeah. So one of the things, if you want your Regis membership, just so you know, you have to apply for it. There's a spot in the onboarding. You just punch in your information and they'll send you your membership, just so you know. But again, that's something that isn't that important. In fact, I got your local. So I opened up, so there was no Regis office space in Orangeville. So I converted my office that I had to a licensed eXp office, registered with RICO. And here, what we have now is we have members of my team work here. Actually, I have two offices. We have members of my team work here, but also independent eXp agents as well. So in Orangeville, because you partnered with me, you've got sitting on my desk here, still waiting for you to pick up.
Tomorrow.
It just goes to show you, that's like, I messaged you, said, hey, here's your key fob, it's all set. But like, it's not on your radar as something that's super important right now.
No. I had the office at the big brokerage, and I only ever had clients there once, because I find most of the time you're dealing with clients at a kitchen table, whether they're buying or selling. If they're in a rental and they're buying a place, then you go to the rental and you sit down and you have a conversation. That's where business is done, at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And that's what.
Well, yeah. So you were there for years. You only use the office space once. So nice to have. You've got it if you want it, but it might take a couple of years to even use it once, which is why you put things on the back burner and you skimmed over it with everything else you had to do in the first 30 days. But basically, yeah, like in the old days, people would follow us back to the office and they'd watch us type out the offer and they'd sign it in ink and all this crazy stuff. Well, now if somebody wants to sell their home, we go to their home. If somebody wants to see a house, we're out showing them a house. Like, and if they want to put in an offer, they're certainly not coming back watching us type it up anymore, right?
No.
The times that you would have to, well, even prior to COVID, I mean, if you walked into any real estate office, you'd be lucky to find an agent there, much less two.
That's right.
And that was prior to COVID. I mean, so there was a lot of room for improvement in this old fashioned, bricks and mortar stuff. Okay.
But the one good thing is, if we have some people that have that expectation of sitting down with a realtor in an office, it's great that we have your location, and I could take my clients there, meet with them, and engage in a more traditional environment. Just the availability of having either your office or Regis office down in Brampton or Toronto is beneficial.
Yeah,
just knowing that it's there.
Yeah, well, like, I mean, and we can go. They're up in Barrie. They're all through Toronto. There's one in Kitchener. They're all kind of around us, but there was nothing right, because this is a small town, right?
Mm-hmm.
But again, small town, you used it once in a couple of years.
Yeah. And I was paying money every month to have that space.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So far, so your first 30 days, what would you say, and I'll ask the flip side of this coin in a second, but what would you say was the best thing you experienced, or what was the most pleasant surprise in coming to eXp?
For me, again, and I'm going to go back to this, is the ease of transition. It was a seamless transition from the bricks and mortar office. I sent off my resignation letter to the previous broker record, and immediately the transition process started. It was seamless. I went over to eXp. I thought it was going to be a hassle. I thought it was going to be a bit of a nuisance. Not at all. It was just I couldn't have asked for a better experience. It was just nice and easy, and everything's been great. Everything's been fantastic.
All right. Well, let's look at the flip side of the coin. What was your biggest challenge, or were you disappointed with anything?
In terms of being disappointed, wow, no, nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Well, there had to be something.
I'm trying to dig deep here, Kevin, but no, just for me, the challenge, not disappointment, but the challenge was just in learning the new processes, learning sky slope, learning KV core, learning how to make my way around eXp world. It's just challenges, no disappointment. It's been a very positive experience.
Okay. All right. And when in the other model, which is basically everywhere, except eXp, but in the other standard bricks and mortar model, how would you describe the difference in the culture there between that and the eXp?
When you're working at a bricks and mortar brokerage, you've got your broker trainer, and that individual is there to help you get along, and help you learn the business, and they're supposed to encourage you and coach you and train you. Everybody else in that building really is your competition, whether they're inside that brokerage or a different brokerage, because let's face it, we're all vying for the same business. We're all looking at the same listings, same homes to list, and we're all going after the same buyers. There's no vested interest for one sales rep to help another sales rep. Whereas with eXp, that's not the case. It's in everybody's best interest to see the success, see every agent be successful. And especially if they're part of your group, like we've got this great group, I could call you, my coach, anytime. I've got access to your cell phone number. I can pick up the phone and say, hey, Kevin, I got this question, send you a text. I can book an appointment with you anytime through Calendly, and just say, okay, I want to get together for half an hour or an hour, and you're available for me. If I reach out to one of the other sales reps with eXp, they're going to encourage me. They're going to help me, because it's in everybody's best interest to grow the company, service our customers. And it's just the complete opposite. It's complete contrast to the other bricks and mortar world.
Yeah. Yeah. Our founder, Glenn, said it was just genius what he come up with, like incentivizing us as owners in the company. And we're getting stock and revenue share and various things based on our productivity in 5 different ways. All of a sudden, we want we want the company to do really well, and anybody that has a problem, quite frankly, if somebody gave me a call outside of our group, I'd help them too if they're with the company. I'm just incentivized to do that. So it's actually remarkable how that changes the culture of where you are, where everyone tide rises all ships, and that ends up being the mentality. And we've seen it in other areas, like when people, they used to do, I never got into this and I didn't like it, but people used to do lease to owns, and the people, instead of renting a house, they had an ownership mentality in the home.
Right.
And maybe they didn't end up owning it, but while they were there, they treated it like it was theirs, which is entirely different than it just being a straight rental. Right.
That's right. That's right.
A different analogy, but it really changes the game. Okay. So what advice would you give a realtor that, wanted to take their business to the next level after what you've experienced?
Well, if you look at it like this, if you're with a bricks and mortar big brokerage right now, 5 years from now, you're still going to only be making money by selling a house. by helping somebody purchase the house or listing and selling the house. That's the only way you're going to make money. And that, to me, that's not building your business. I want to be part owner in the business. I've got an entrepreneurial spirit. I want to build something that lasts, get that residual income, the money coming in every month, even if I don't sell a house. Even if I don't sell a house, because of my the business that I build and the people that I bring into the business, and helping them and coaching them and helping them reach their goals. By helping them reach their goals, I'm also going to reach my goals. And to me, it just makes sense to build something for my future, but not just my future, for my wife, for my kids, and it just makes sense. And it's something actually you said to me. You said this to me after we met one time before I joined eXp. You said, you're already in eXp. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah.
And he said that, and that stuck with me. And, it's fastest growing brokerage. I think we're pushing 81,000 agents worldwide. About 4,400, I think we're in Canada now, and it's just exploding, and a huge amount of room for growth. And we're going to disrupt. We're going to take over.
And I mean, they just opened New Zealand. Like, we're at 21 different countries now. It's like every time I turn around, there's another announcement with another country open, expanding even more. It's like, like probably say 4 years ago, if you said the name Elon Musk to anyone, they probably wouldn't have known his name. And now it's, you'd have a hard time finding someone that didn't know it. I think, our founder, Glenn Sanford, is a genius. The way he restructured literally the entire industry by creating this model. And I think his name very soon will go down with all the big names. Those Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and like they're going to write a book about this company. And this is the Amazon of real estate. And because it's so new, people just haven't figured it out yet. It's starting to get out now. Because it's we were increasing exponentially, meaning doubling on top of doubling. And I think we're just a hair off exponential now. But that rate of growth, doubling, like if you have a penny and you double it every day in a month, you're a millionaire. Like your mind can't do compound math very well, but that's basically the rate we're increasing right now. And it's mind boggling. So yeah, when I said that, it was kind of like, you're coming to eXp. You just don't know it yet. It's not if, it's just kind of a matter of when.
Yep. Absolutely.
All right. So this has been a great interview as expected, Gary. I was looking forward to this. And I guess, as we say in our Honey Badger group, we'll either see you at the top or
we're going to see you from the top.
All right. Thanks, brother. We'll talk to you soon.